Hey there, for music collectors. Not a big one today, mostly CDs. I haven't found any new records that I've particularly liked. There was a box set of country and organ, but they wanted far too much for it, and I didn't really have the time to check out the condition. Because, again, it was nice, but I mean, $6.99 for a box organ set, and I've got enough anyway. Anyway, I do have one record. Organ Spectacular. It's the organ of Westminster Cathedral. David Hill is the organist. It's been sitting on the side for a while. Now, I don't have this one, but this particular picture I have seen before. So I've got a cassette tape that has just the exact same thing. And yeah, there's a lot of pegs on that, or a lot of keys on that. Now, in the last music update, I actually forgot to include a cassette tape. I know. It was a double, and it is Jasper Carrott Condensed Classics. Now, Jasper Carrott is a famous comedian, and was presenting Golden Balls, but that seems to have ended now. But yeah, I completely forgot about this. It was only when I was sort of like sorting stuff out I suddenly realised, I forgot about that Jasper Carrott cassette. But now I do have it. Anyway, the stack of CDs. First of all, we have The Beatles live at the BBC. Now, I did see this on cassette tape, but I thought, not really wanting that because it'll probably be knackered. However, I did find it on CD. And I know for a fact that my mum has actually got this on cassette, so I thought, there's no real point, because I could easily borrow it from my mum and just listen to it then. But now I've got the CD version, which is a lot easier. I don't know if that will fit there. Next we have a Genesis album, Wind and Weathering. This was one of the very last few albums that Peter Gabriel appeared on. I think there was two more after this before Trick of the Tail, and when Trick of the Tail came out, that's when he had left. But either way, very nice to get that one, because I don't have that. I have it on record, but not on cassette. So I have to put these somewhere else. I don't so really. I have to put them over there because I haven't got much room on my computer desk anymore. Next we have Love for Sale. No, not for sale, S-A-L, sail, as in a ship. This, I think, is a late 60s prog rock group, or possibly something else, but either way, it was sort of like, it looked interesting, and whenever it has digitally remastered on it, that usually means it's something to be good. I mean, the original year was 1969, so that's about the right year for prog rock. It's still very cool to find, though. Speaking of that, we have Yes, the Ladder. Now, later on, Yes, it's kind of iffy. They started off well, but by the 80s they'd pretty much done what Genesis were doing, which was sort of like going with the times, making pop music, only performing tracks live, but they'd lost quite a few people, because Rick Wakeman, the keyboardist, he went on to do solo stuff. Steve Howe left for a while but to do solo stuff, but was always with it, and, well, if you know what I mean, if you listen to sort of like the 60s and 70s stuff, you know there is a difference by the time you get to the late 70s, early 80s. This is, of course, The Ladder. Again, I didn't realise, I thought it was actually called The Ladder, and I couldn't realise what that said underneath, but then I saw that it has Yes Interview, and I thought, oh, that's Yes. I don't know if the PC game will work, or the screensaver. I'm probably thinking this is, yeah, 99, so that probably means it's for Windows 98. And the last time I did that, it turned Windows XP into Windows 98 XP Crap Edition. Literally, it was all fuzzy and blurry. Next we have The Best of Don Williams. Yes, another Don Williams CD. Have quite a few of him now, so I shall be listening to him the next couple of weeks. Ultimate Country, Volume 3. Again, this is mostly sort of like, we'll pull them in with one good track, which is Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line, and the rest of it is sort of just a mixture of stuff. Unfortunately, when you get like these Ultimate Country or Ultimate albums, unless it's like a box set where you can read all of them, usually in this case the first one, they'll slap every big country or every big singer on there. By the third, fourth and fifth one, they're kind of literally rooting around in the bottom of the barrel and saying, oh yes, that's rock and roll, that's country, yeah, we'll add that onto the CD. Nope. Is he still alive or is he dead? Put it on anyway, it sounds country. But again, like I say, it doesn't really matter. It's new country to me. Mostly sort of like anything post 2000s, because anything after that is kind of crappy, really. Country, it's not as good as it used to sound. It's more sort of gone either poppy or disco or rocky. It's sort of country rock now. Anyway, next we have The Best of the Indians. Now, it's not the band, that is literally the Native Americans. And this is sort of like the sacred music inspired by the deep spirit of the Native Americans. I do like their sort of music, very sort of like melodic and pan pipes, flutes and drums and stuff like that. It's very, very cool sounding. Next we have In Search of the Spirit. Now, I have this on cassette actually. It is probably in that box right up the top there. That one just over there. Because I know I do have this one on cassette because I recognise the cover. I think this was actually one of my first Pan Pipes cassette tape actually. And I do remember that was quite a good album, so it's good to have it on CD. I'll still keep the cassette though, because it's always nice. I'm not one of these people who basically buys like all kinds of it, so I don't need the 8-track of it if there is 8-track. I don't need the mini disc of it if there is mini disc. I don't need the vinyl. I don't need the digital download. I just want it so I can say I have 2 versions of it. Next we have Pan Pipes of the Andes. Another Pan Pipes album. Very nice indeed. Like I say, I do like my Pan Pipe stuff, and I have got a huge collection of it. Next we have Spiritual Spa. Now, this is sort of a weird one. Relax and rejuvenate with the soothing sounds of the native flute. Now, I originally thought this was going to be sort of like your usual sort of like crap that you hear in spa, or sort of like soft pop, sort of like all that horrible stuff, but no, it's actually quite nice. And it is quite, it's the sort of thing that basically if you go into like one of them spiritualist shops, or sort of like shops that basically sort of like give you like the rocks of sort of like good cleansing, the yin and yang of stuff like that, those sort of shops, this is probably the sort of music that we'd be playing in there, so it's quite nice to have that. Next we have No Pedals Attached, Robin Ward, and this is of course harp music. If you're wondering what No Pedals Attached mean, I can't show you at the moment. If you may remember a few music updates ago, I had that double cassette tape with the harp on the front of it that I lost one of the cassette tapes when I was rewinding it. That has pedals on. There's 2 different types of pedal harp. This is a normal harp, so yeah, be interesting to listen to that. And the last one is Mariachi Corbry. Still is my mariachi. And yeah, I do like mariachi bands. That is actually, this is the first one I'll be listening to, but yeah, I mostly grabbed this because if you know of JonTron, he does, well, hell, bring on the mariachi band, and he just sort of like plays this. He's got this picture of like the mariachi band, and sort of like basically this like heavy metal like rock comes on. He says, "That's not mariachi," and I just love that because that is brilliant. But yeah, it's nice to get a CD. And that is officially it. It is a bit late, but Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, of course, because we are in the New Year. As you can see, I've got a new calendar. Yay! So I now know what dates are. Rather than sort of like thinking, what is today? Oh yeah, that day. But yeah, hopefully the New Year, again, car boot sales, charity shops, just in general sort of like buying music and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let's have a new 2018. See you next time.